Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, back again on this lovely day to do my lovely post-market wrap-up. Epic day, and I have a lot I want to talk about here actually. What is today? Tuesday! It's a weird week, you know, yesterday the market was closed, okay? Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. So let's talk a little bit, you and me. You and me need to talk here. So let's see. Let's start off with the Confederacy of Dunces. There's a major distraction play going on here, and I wanted to discuss that with you. If you were to pay attention to the Confederacy of Dunces over there, they want people to believe that the issues that we've seen today in the market, especially the financial sector, is about political turmoil. It's about political turmoil that's going on there in Europe. Well, I have a little news for you. Although that is playing a part here, why would, now let's think. I know all of you that follow this blog are smart. That's the truth. I hear from you all the time. So why would the financial sector take the biggest hit on a day that the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down almost 400 points? It was down worse than that. Let's think. Maybe because, there's a problem with something in the financial sector. Oh yeah, that would make kind of sense. And that's exactly what's going on here. Okay. The Confederacy of Dunces does not want you to understand something that I've been explaining for like the better part of a decade here. The world is engulfed underneath the biggest bubble the world has ever seen is debt. The European debt crisis has never been fixed. All they did was they maxed out their credit card, as we all know, and they fixed it by, let's see, adding more debt to it. Does that make any sense to you? And they managed to prop everything up, just like these world central banks have done, just like companies that are buying back shares of their own stock with cash that's being repatriated here to the United States with no questions asked. Political tool. All right, how many of you have heard me say the market is being used as a political tool? Well, it is, right before your eyes here. So, going back to what I was saying here, the world, for those of you that don't know, is in a debt crisis right now. And it is very possible, and I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit because there's opportunity, very possible that what we're seeing here in Europe is the opening salvos of yet another European debt crisis, although this one is exponentially worse than the last time. Now, you will hear this, but they won't explain. On the Confederacy of Dunces, they're talking about possible contagion. Well, what would be contagious here? Political turmoil? I don't know. There seems to be a lot of political turmoil here in the United States. But what they're not telling you, the contagion effect, is the debt crisis. The world we're in a debt crisis now. It just seems, everything just looks real pretty. You know, because we keep maxing out that credit card. We keep on borrowing and borrowing and borrowing into oblivion. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, this is going to play out in a very bad way for most people. And they're going to be caught blindsided. Now, what I want you to do, what I would like you to do, is keep your eye on what is happening over in Europe with this new debt crisis, because that's what this is. It's a new European debt crisis, which could possibly be, or has the potential to be, again, even the Confederacy is kind of alluding to a contagion, but then it's saying what contagion in what? The stock markets? Let's see, their markets are down, so they want you to, this is perspective they want you to get out of it. They want you to think that their stock markets are down, they're not mentioning the debt crisis over there, and that our markets are going to be down because their markets are down. Until our bond market starts to sell off, and they're buying bonds like mad. Did you see what they did today? Go have a look at this on my website. Take 2 seconds. If you don't, you're lost, seriously. Go look at what they did today in the bond market. Link in the description of this video. Right under the chat room, you're going to see the bond market. I mean, they bought bonds today. Imagine if they didn't buy bonds today. Because there used to be, you know, the risk on, risk off. Now that doesn't even work anymore. I even wrote a whole book about it, the fluidity of money at one point. It doesn't matter anymore. That book can be lit on fire as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter anymore in this fake environment that we are in. It's unbelievable. Keep your eye on what's going on in Europe. Here, watch that bond market, more specifically the 10-year yield. If they are successful, like I said in the video I did this morning, in keeping that 10-year yield suppressed, okay, we know where that red line is. I hate red lines, but it seems to be at 3.1. They can keep it suppressed. Cash will move back into stocks. Why? Because there's nowhere else to go. And investors are going to look to put cash to work. It's very, very simple. This is not rocket science, people. It's just an understanding of basic concepts. So, the other thing we need to keep our eye on here is the dollar. If you notice, the dollar was getting pretty strong lately. That's also weighing on the stock market. They won't allow that unless they lose control. The dollar here, because it's still seen by people, governments around the world as the safety play, all right? It's still the world's reserve currency, so you can understand why it's still seen as a safety play. So, but we'll see how the Fed plays with that. The Fed is going to get this wrong, or right, depending on your perspective. This has just been a scheme since the get-go. Since the word go, when they started with QE1, to reinflate everything again, reinflate the stock market bubble, reinflate the housing bubble on the back of debt. Now, is the debt problem now, debt issue in Europe starting to rear its ugly head? We're going to know soon enough. We're also going to know what world central banks are going to attempt to do. Believe me, today, again, while the Confederacy is talking about political turmoil and wants you to believe that's what affected the financial sector, does that make any sense to you in any way, shape, or form? You have to understand, you should call up CNBC or Bloomberg and tell them that you are not, you don't have an IQ in the negative. They believe you do. They think that you are like literally a walking zombie. Most people are walking zombies. They can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You know that. But CNBC specifically, and Bloomberg too, probably to a lesser degree, believe that you are just I don't know, an inanimate object like my night. Does this look familiar to anybody? Do you know why I bought this? Because of its color? Tell me what movie this is from. You know where it's from. That's why I bought this. Anyway, seriously, call them up and just tell them, I'm not stupid. We're not stupid. You guys are stupid. That's what I would do. Or just laugh again. Just do my favorite thing is dial up CNBC and laugh into the phone. Because you're not dumb. But they think you're dumb. I know that you're not dumb. Anyway, let's keep our eye on this, people. The debt crisis is here. We have a debt crisis. It's around the world. The question is, are we now seeing the opening salvos again with regard to what's going on over there in Europe? Again, it was never fixed. How did they ever fix the debt crisis in Europe? How did we, here in the United States, all we've done is borrow ourselves into oblivion. Well, companies buy back shares of their own stock and inflate the stock market on cash that was given to them by President Trump as they repatriated it with no questions asked. Make sure you buy shares of your own stock back. Does anyone here not believe that President Trump didn't make that very clear to these companies here, or just a few of them, because, again, of their market cap and their ability to keep stocks elevated? Of course he did. If you don't believe that one, well then, we'll have to have another long talk, you and I. All right, with that said, I almost forgot. Do not miss, right before this video, I did an interview with Greg Hunter, and you will not want to miss that one, I promise you. You're not going to want to miss it. I think I went a little off the deep end, probably. Very, very passionate, It will come out after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Greg's channel. Don't miss that one. It will tie kind of into a lot of stuff I'm seeing here, and you're gonna love it. At least I hope you do. All right, with that said, I will see you in the morning, and we are going to have a super